the aspect of your further, just getting back to your life timeline here. So you didn't get to the military, you had the knee operation, didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was much later that I got into the Texas State Guard.
Okay.
Yeah, they accepted me. It's the Texas Military Forces, and it accepted me into their command control communications and intelligence group, and I worked very closely with the Army National Guard, but mostly with the Air Force National Guard, and with secure satellite communications and that kind of stuff with them. And I made a lot of very good connections. Worked very close with the Department of Homeland Security. I had to go to a lot of their certifications. The PacStar 5500 satellite system that I supported, which it was the DoD communications hub. It basically connected the Department of Homeland Security, all of the Department of Homeland Security entities, all of the local police, first responders, and military together through one communication hub, through whatever they were using, whether it be just a CB radio, telephone, satellite phone, ham radio, whatever. I would be able to patch them all together to where they could all speak to each other.
Right.
And also pull down the secure DoD internet that they had, to where the Air Force and Army National Guard could come in and plug their encrypted laptops into the DoD infrastructure and communicate.
And during the time you were doing that, were you aware of the nature of this? I mean, because it sounds like, well, we need communication between all these different entities.
I sat there. I mean, I was sitting there working the thing. I found out all kinds of stuff.
What you didn't write software, but you were doing the hardware?
I mean, I worked, it was basically just a whole bunch of hardware talking to each other through switches, and there was some software involved, network connectivity, and keeping the satellite uplink connected. And then I helped the people with their encrypted laptops get connectivity to the network that we had, the little hub we had that was connected to the DoD satellite. And I supported them.
Department of Defense. DoD, right?
Yeah, and DHS.
Yeah, and the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah, whoever happened to need to come into the tent, to have the clearance that needed to
have the information, or have was it a secure network that?
Yeah. It was the DoD.
Right, so it was
only.
A closed network, and you were part of putting that all together to keep all of these different government agencies.
Right, and there was also people sitting around, using phones. We had voice over IP phones that we had plugged in, IP phones that hooked into the DoD.
Did you have a special clearance?
I did, but I had a DoD card that I never kept it with me. I never knew what my clearance was or anything.
Oh, no? Okay. So, but you had access to a lot of people.
Yeah, I had
a lot of data.
Special access program.
Okay, right. So during that stay there, how long were you working there?
I was in the Guard from 2007 to 2012.
Okay.
But
was that when you're in the Guard? Is that part-time or?
Yeah, it's part-time. Just like whenever an emergency happens or during training.
So, I guess I would say that was part of your education or eye-opening experiences. Did you start to become aware of things there that you hadn't been previously aware of?
I was already aware. I just started getting a lot of information.
Okay.
And made a lot of connections.
Right.
Some people I still talk to. A lot of those people are the people that started disappearing. I mean, literally people calling me saying, "Hey, so-and-so didn't show up to work for the last 2 weeks. Their family said they went and looked in their window and their house is empty and it's a mess. It looks like they moved out in a very hasty manner. And neighbors said that they saw moving trucks moving them out fast as hell, and then took off. Moved them out in less than 2 hours and moved them out. No explanation, nothing.
Right. So the sensitivity of being in that particular arena and the information that was coming in, did you start to make conclusions about?
Yeah, I've made several conclusions, and then they've been wrong.
Oh, okay. And the people that you worked with, the general ethical, moral compass that they carry, are there a lot of are there people that are working in this that have a lot of information right now that?
Oh yeah.
And are they under threat to not talk? Or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got approached by some guys that told me I shouldn't be speaking so freely. Not too long ago while I was living with my mom.
And they came to your house? They called?
No.
They take you out?
When I was getting away from them, my situation there, I went to this shuck and jive place I go to every once in a while, and this guy sat down next to me, and he had Arabic written on one arm. He had a short sleeve shirt on, and another guy sat on the other side of me, and I looked at the guy's arm and I said, "Was that Arabic?" And he said, "Nope." And he pulled his sleeve down, and I said, I said, "You wouldn't happen to have anything written on the other arm, would you?" Because I'd met a guy who had Arabic on one arm and Sanskrit on the other. And he said, "Yeah." And he just lifted his shirt up real quick like that and put it down like that. And I said, "That's Sanskrit." He said, "How'd you know that?" I said, I knew a guy in the Guard that had pretty much those same tattoos. And that opened it up. And the guy to the left said, "Oh, really?" He said, "You should probably be a little less open on the internet."
Just like that.
Just like that. And they didn't order anything to drink or anything. They got up and they left.
So this is a sort of a way of communication, right?
Yeah.
Symbols and signs and
Very
tattoos.
direct,
and,
yeah.
Right. Letting you know who they are and
Yeah.
delivering the message. And
Yeah.
Did you feel threatened?
Put it this way, when I left, I took my pistol out of its sheath and put it under my leg and paid very close attention to other traffic and everything on the way home.
Okay. I would say that was affirmative. Right.
So, I was, it got my attention.
Yeah. Have you had more of the same or?
Nope.
No. Right. Yeah.
Nothing else.
And this is just an offhand question, but people without mentioning anybody, but are there people out there right now that wish they could come forward and speak more clearly? Are they still trying to pass the messages, say subversively from one person to the next?
I think they would rather pass the buck, pass the info to someone they know that is putting the info out there.
Right.
But at the same time, their information is only as good as the person that they're getting it from.
Right.
So
they're compartmentalized still.
Yeah. So I have friends in several different groups, and I get the information, and I kind of compare it. And if I have points that match, I consider the information somewhat vetted. Then I'll find a news story out there that has some of the information in it, and then I'll post it.
Right.
And that's my way of putting the information out there indirectly.
Right.
I'm not going to just come out and say da-da-da-da-da-da-da, because then whoever powers that be are going to be able to look and deduce exactly where I got the information from.
Right, and put your source at risk also.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what I'm looking to a lot of people that are in in the intel biz in a way, and it seems to be how they're doing it. They're kind of triangulating information and...
After I posted that stuff yesterday, the president of SAIC went to my site.
Okay. And what is SAIC? For the uninitiated.
It's one of the major computer defense contractors. President at defense contractor.
Okay.
Frank O'Donnell. President at defense contractor.
Right.
Okay, we go there.
National Security Executive Meeting.
SAI Science Applications International Corporation, SAIC. They have been pursuing me like crazy to come and work on Navy contracts, which I've said no to. And, you know, it shows here that he viewed my profile 2 days ago.
Right.
After I posted some information on the portals and torsion field stuff.
Yeah. So just I mean, this